Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on my thoughts on series and stuff. Today's video is on The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the first installment of Marvel Thoughts, where I tell you my thoughts on Marvel shows and movies. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier follows the journey of Sam Wilson and James Bucky Barnes as they try to live up to the legacy Steve Rogers has left behind for them. Sam feels unworthy of the shield, while Barnes tries his best to forgive himself for the things he did as the Winter Soldier, though they have no time to brood and are forced to partner up to deal with the Flag Smashers, a group of revolutionaries who are trying to return the world to how it was post-blip, without the mass genocide. Though they do kill a few innocent people. But before Guy 1 and Guy 2 sink their teeth in, why don't you go ahead and hit that big red button? Yeah, that's right, subscribe. We're trying to reach a goal of about 1,000 subscribers, and we're almost about halfway there. So we'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, and then share this video with your friends so they could subscribe as well. Don't forget to hit that bell to be notified about every time we upload. And if you'd like to show some further support, why not become a bro by becoming a patron? Patrons get early access, behind-the-scenes content, and all sorts of other perks. So come on down and let us hold $1. All done? Great. On with the show. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You'd think they'd come up with a less wordy title, Winter Falcon. As cool as that sounds, it makes me feel like you're trying to ship them, and that's probably a road we should not go down. I agree. Shippers can make life so difficult. Very difficult. Though, I found the show, really good. Like really. Me too. I enjoyed dedicating 6 hours towards Sam being indecisive about a fashion statement. Fashion statement? Just wear the bloody shield. We don't care if it makes you look fat. It's a shield, not a fashion accessory. Besides, he didn't feel like he could carry all that weight. It's vibranium. It's incredibly light. You know what I mean. You'd think it was Thor's hammer, the way there's this discussion of whether you're worthy or not. Well, any American should surely feel that way. The shield's legacy is extensive, as the series demonstrates to us. That Sam hesitated to take up the helm is proof that he's the right person for the job. It's a sign of his humility. Oh, shut it. What? Just because he didn't want it, that doesn't make him a good candidate. He's not Jon Snow. Steve Rogers stepped up to the plate with no hesitation, and he was incredibly humble. Denying yourself a position that you deserve, especially when it's offered to you, is not an example of humility. It's stupid. It wasn't that simple. And he did what he thought was right. He made a mistake. A big mistake. That's how we ended up with John Walker, who is such a terrible choice as a replacement Captain America. Leaving the shield with the government? Come on, Sam, what were you thinking? That's a noob mistake. Noob mistake. Okay, it's hard to disagree with that. You'd think he'd know that, especially in how he doesn't let the government touch his tech. Well, there you go. And I agree, John Walker is a terrible choice for Captain America. You know, Wyatt Russell's performance was really nice, though that helmet did nothing for his face. The overall body of his suit looked pretty good, though. That wasn't a bad costume design at all. Yeah, it channeled the right amount of fake. I don't even know how they managed to let him near the shield. He's just so inauthentic. Clearly something off with him from the moment we saw him. No self-awareness, no respect. Did you see what he said about Steve in that interview? Oh, well, I've never met him, but he feels like a brother. The utter nonsense he'd come up with. It was like watching a child. He still has so much to learn. I loved the commentary of his position, though. What about it? Captain America is a hero that's meant to exemplify the American way. Yet here comes Walker, donning the stars and stripes, yet misusing his power either for his own gain or due to his poor judgment. Damn, okay. John Walker is America unmasked. He is what America is. And the same can be said about Isaiah Bradley, except what makes him different is that he's not so much the faults of America, but rather represents how America stands on the backs of African Americans, yet does nothing for them. Yeah, I wasn't expecting Disney to get so serious. They're showing the collateral that the heroes leave in their wake and how the racist roots of America applies to the same heroes. The way they told Isaiah's story, in fact, the way they modeled the entire series made for some compelling television and a heavy commentary on the current state of modern America without pandering, without making it feel like pandering. All the while bringing us that Marvel action we love so much and giving us some old favorites like Sharon Carter and Zemo. Daniel freaking Brühl, man. Every time that man is on screen, he never fails to amaze me. Oh, and he's rich now, and somehow even smarter than when he was in Civil War. I love that. You know, he might be very heavy-handed in his approach to his ideals, but the way he feels about super soldiers and the Avengers, I mean, it's hard to say he doesn't have a point. It's awfully hard to disagree with him. And you can say the same for Carly Morgenthau. She was just rebelling against a system that displaced her and many others. I can't really say the same about her, but she was fighting for a good cause. Once again, just because the cause is good doesn't mean the fight is good. She may have started off as a revolutionary, but she quickly became a terrorist. I wouldn't call her a terrorist, really. She killed a lot of innocent people just for her greater good. And she was planning on killing a lot of different governments' top brass just to make a statement. She threatened Sam's family. Listen, tragic villain, good cause or not, when you commit acts of terror, you are a terrorist. So what? We should just forget what she was fighting for? We should forget the people that relied on her? Of course not. But that doesn't mean we have to excuse her actions either. If she didn't choose violence at every waking moment, she may have completed her goal while harming far less people. And even if killing all of those innocents was the only way for her to get her point across, there must be consequences to her actions. I guess. And maybe there could have been if she didn't get shot. Sharon Carter is tripping, man. Running around the underground has changed her. Good girl gone bad and all that. I knew she was the power broker for sure. I also knew that she couldn't be trusted with all of these people that she was just killing without a second thought. Oh, she was totally the power broker. Who else was she gonna be? Lady Hydra? Oh, Dreyfus looks good. And she scares me. Which is interesting because I'm so used to her making me laugh. And I have no idea where she stands or what her ties are. All I know is that she's got her hands on that loose cannon John Walker, or rather, the US agent. We have no idea what she's gonna do. It's also a name that sounds a lot better than it reads. Yeah, US agent. US agent. It's not something that you could be like, Cap, reporting in for so-and-so. No, I'm talking to the US agent. Hurry up, the US agent, we need you. Yeah, it's not the best name, that's for sure. Well, is there anything on your mind you still want to share? A few things. For starters, Falcon goes on that rescue mission in episode 1, and he doesn't take a gun. He doesn't need one. He's not a super soldier. He's just a normal guy with some fancy wings. Heck, we've seen him use guns before. Why go through all of that trouble fighting world-renowned MMA fighter George St. Pierre when he could have just shot him? That's fair. Also, America was doing way too much in Europe. Captain America and company should have no jurisdiction there. I'm sorry, where is Interpol? As always, America saves the rest of the world from a problem they created themselves. And also, kinda, but not really, because so much happens in Europe, yet the moment they create a terror attack in New York, they're fine and dandy, they're oiled up, they have fancy new suits, and they get the job done. Dr. Nagel talks like Lex Luthor. He did, didn't he? I didn't notice that before, that's actually kind of funny. And bruh, They did Lamar so wrong though. Did you see how they bodied him? Oh, he's dead. He's properly dead. Though this for sure has to be my biggest pet peeve. How are they getting around so fast? How are they getting around so fast? Yeah, there's no explanation for that. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Was The Falcon and the Winter Soldier a thrilling ride of a show? Or is that title ridiculously long? Guys, you're killing me with that one. My God. I, for one, am in shock. I could have never expected Disney, the most PG-13 super sensitive company out there, to run barefoot across the eggshells instead of tiptoeing. Tafadzwa, yes, that's what we're calling the show now. It's officially called Tafadzwa. Depicts the lives of American soldiers in such a realistic way, my head almost popped. And I think it's quite easy to forget because they get into super suits and do super stuff. But a great number of the Avengers are soldiers. Bucky is waist deep in regrets. John Walker seems to have some unresolved trauma due to what he went through in Afghanistan. And Sam can't even qualify for a loan. This is the product of how America treats its troops. They are underpaid, uncared for, and when they're used up or step way out of line, looking at you, John Walker, they're tossed to the side. And you can argue that Marvel technically did take a similar angle with The Punisher on Netflix, but we all know how that ended, so. I'm also shocked that they made something so true to the African American experience. They touched on the inequality African Americans face quite a few times throughout the show. It's a massive, it's a theme. It's a major theme. They even took a jab at the police. Who are these people? For the longest time, I've been under the impression that Disney could never do something like this. And it worried me for titles like Blade, because in its original films, you have a black man who looks like Wesley Snipes chopping up a bunch of white people with a sword for over an hour. It's very easy to feel like that social commentary would be lost at a company like Disney. A company scared to put blood in a Star Wars movie even though it's notorious for the chopping off of several limbs. Yet somehow they were true to the African American experience, and they did it while still delivering all of that Marvel action we know and love. Yet somehow they managed to depict the plight of the African American within America very accurately without making it feel like they're trying to be hip or they want something out of it. All the while still delivering that Marvel action we know and love so much. And I mean, it could be argued that they tried and quite successfully did the same thing with Luke Cage on Netflix, but we all know how that ended, so. But that's all from me, guys. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you absolutely hated this video, give it an even bigger thumbs up. As I said before, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified about every time we upload. And if you want to show some more support, visit our Patreon and let us hold $1. I have no idea what the next video is on. I saw a movie called Ava and another movie called Anna, and just going off the posters and the synopsis, I'm fairly certain they're the same movie. I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna go from here. I don't know what's next. But what I do know is I will be here next Thursday to share my thoughts with you, my bros, on something. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.